Hey Stronghold fam, so today we're going to do 90-90. That has to do with joint range of motion. So there's lots of different ways that you can do 90-90. We're going to talk about 90-90 passive holds today, so pails and rails. So to get started, we are going to set up in 90-90. We want to be on our butt cheek of our front leg. We're going to have 90 degrees in our ankles and both of our knees. We want this leg not necessarily to be too close, but we also don't want to extend too far back. So we're also looking for about a 90 degrees in our crotch. So we're going to work in 90-90, you work external rotation and internal rotation of your hip. So we're going to start with working our external rotation of our right leg. So the biggest thing here about pails and rails, so how we're doing isometrics is you want to go into a full range stretch, and we're going to hold, not for the full time since it's just a quick video, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute's preferred, in your full range stretch with a tall chest, so we're not overly bending the back because that's not really full range of our hips. So wherever we can keep a nice neutral spine, tight core, and bend into that stretch, you should feel that stretch lighting up on that outside hip of our right butt cheek. You're going to hold that. We're holding for 30 seconds to a minute. After the 30 seconds to a minute is when pails come into play. So it's progressive angular loading. So what that means is we're going to try and open up the angle even more. So we're trying to open up the angle. So right now we're closing the angle in our hip. We are trying to open the angle by doing pails. So we are going to push. So I always remember that is pails is pushing when it comes to 90-90. You want to pretend like there's a scale under your shin, and you want your ankle, your shin, and your knee to all be attached and pushing that scale to drive it as high of a weight as possible. So 30 seconds to a minute stretch. After that 30 seconds to a minute, we're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to brace our core, and we are going to start driving that bottom leg through the floor for 10 seconds, as much as you can. I don't want you sitting up and pushing. I want us staying in that full range of motion and driving through the floor as hard as we can for 10 seconds. After that 10 seconds, we're immediately going to go into rails, which is regressive angular loading. So that means we're trying to pull and close the angle in our hip even further. So in this sense, we're pretending like we're trying to back up as much weight as possible off of the scale without picking this leg off the floor. So with rails, you're in your end range here. You're driving into pails, and then to rails for 5. We are pulling up. So we're trying to get as much weight off of the scale as possible, pulling up for 5, and then you're going to rest. We're not coming out when we rest. We're going to then sit back into that stretch as deep as we can get into external rotation with our hip, and just breathing it out, usually for about 30 seconds. After that, that's the end of external rotation for our right leg. We're going to go into internal rotation of our left leg. Same thing. We're working on isometric by holding the stretch. Then we're going to do the isometric of driving through pails. So you're fighting yourself. That's what an isometric is. You're fighting your joint with as much energy that you can conduct within yourself against yourself and its joint, so against the floor. So there's no weights involved. We are going to, again, 90 degrees in the crotch, 90 degrees in the knee, 90 degrees in the ankle. We are going to sit tall, and we're going to rotate our butt back, so like we're kind of sitting our booty cheek onto the floor, and we're going to put pressure into this back ankle. So we're not trying to pick up, we're pushing back, sitting back. Everything should light up in here. Okay, so that means we're in internal rotation. There should probably be a gap between your butt cheek, or you have really good internal rotation. So a little different from doing external rotation. With internal rotation, we're just focusing at the ankle. So instead of the scale being under our entire shin bone, we're pretending the scale's under our ankle. So after we hold here for 30 seconds to a minute, what we're going to do is pails, so progressive angular loading. So we're trying to push and spread us back out of the ankle, so making the angle of our hip bigger, but we're not letting ourselves move out of the stretch. So the only thing that's moving is us trying to push and drive our ankle through the floor. Same thing, building that scale up as high as we can. So for 10 seconds, we're going to start driving through our ankle, pushing down into the floor, staying into our end range stretch, pushing as hard as we can for 10. Things might cramp up. After the 10 seconds of driving as hard as we can through the floor, we're going to do rails for 5 seconds. So again, trying to close the angle of our hips, so pretending like we're going to pick our ankle off of the floor, but you're really staying in the stretch too, so we're not rotating out and picking up our hip or our ankle to rotate internally into our hip. We're staying back and you're pulling up for 5. You're probably going to cramp right here. 3, 2, 1. Then we sit back, relax the muscle, and just slowly stretch as deep as you can into that internal rotation again. Really trying to relax all of the muscles for 30 seconds. Then that's internal rotation of our left leg. After that, you just rotate around. And same thing now. So we're going to do internal rotation to start since our right leg's had a longer break. We're going to sit tall, rotate back, and immediately feel that stretch. I have a big gap between my butt because my internal rotation is terrible. Everything's lining up here, 90 degrees in our knee and our ankle. And we're just going to sit, relax through this end range stretch of our internal rotation, which I should probably stretch for the whole time because I'm on fire right now. I don't do these enough. All right, so same thing. We're going to do progressive first. So we're going to pretend like that scale is under our ankle, and we are going to drive down, pushing through the floor, bracing our core, pushing, driving that scale up 10 seconds, as hard as we can push. Keep pushing, pushing. I don't have a timer. I'm pretending it's 10 because I'm in pain. Then we're going to regressive, pulling up, trying to get as much off of that scale as possible. Your hip's on fire. It's working. You're staying back in the stretch, but you're really pulling up through our hip. And 5, rest. That was longer than 5, see? Helps to have a clock or a stopwatch. And then this time, we're just full stretch. Try and really relax those muscles. I tend to stay really stiff after doing these. So as much as you can just kind of let those muscles relax versus staying super duper tense. And then you're out of it. So then now we're going to end with our last one. External rotation of our left hip. And we are going to sit tall, rotate towards that knee, and fold in half by keeping our chest tall. I always say boobs to floor. And you're just going to rest in that end range of your external rotation. You should feel your booty on fire, especially probably since we worked internal rotation already on this side. And you're just going to sit here. If you can get lower as you sit for that 30 seconds to a minute, keep getting lower, really push that end range. And then same thing with our external rotation as we did on the right side. We are having our knee, our shin, and our ankle all connected. We're pretending like that scale is under our shin bone, and we are going to drive all of this down into the floor as hard as we can, driving that scale up as heavy as we can get it for 10 seconds, really pushing through the floor, trying to make a dent in the floor. And then we are going to do rails. We are going to pull up, trying to get as much off of that scale as possible. You're pretending like you're going to be able to pick your entire shin bone off the floor, but you're not going to be able to. And then you're going to rest. And we're going to tall chest, boobs to floor. Really try and deeply stretch into your end range and really relax those muscles. And holding that for 30 seconds. Of course, all of my counting was off, but it definitely helps for you to have your phone and your stopwatch so you can really time yourself and do a really good job of just deep stretches, hard isometrics for that 10 and 5 seconds, and then a nice deep stretch again to get that end range. But yeah, 90-90 is huge. It's the first thing that you should be doing when you're trying to build your range of motion in your hips. You want to always work on rotation first. So external rotation and internal rotation are used and works and built up better when you do 90-90 isometrics first. So you don't want to just do working. So everyone a lot of times is just doing lift-offs and things like that. That's perfect. You're training strength in that range of motion that you already have. But isometrics are what really gets you that extra range of motion. It starts to build out that joint. So yeah, we're cutting it here at 90-90. If y'all want to go check out more videos on how to build more range of motion in your hips. We'll also talk about flexion and extension in some further videos. So yeah, good luck. Let us know how you enjoy 90-90.